The legendary banner for February 2020 is here. This monthly banner will feature a starting 8% 5-star focus rate, with the non-focus 5-star rate being set to 0%. That means any 5-star unit you get from this banner will be one of these 12 heroes. If you are looking for seasonal units, we have the double special heroes banner going on right now, and that seems to be the place for those limited time units. These monthly legendary and mythic banners are filling up fast. In the rest of this video, we'll talk about all the units on hand briefly, see what type of skill fodder is on offer, and we also have to talk about our new legendary hero. This month, it's Chrom's time to shine. Legendary Chrom is here, and like his daughter, he is also a blue infantry archer. He will be a water legendary hero with the pair up mechanic, so Chrom can swap in and out with a partner for certain game modes. From what has been shown, it looks like Chrom will be a slower archer, but will pack quite a punch. He's ready to make his shots count. For his old skills, Legendary Chrom has some juicy skills. He comes with close counter, which does seem to signify that he will be more on the tanky side. He has low attack and defense 3, which inflicts -3 attack and defense on the enemy while getting rid of their attack and defense field buffs. Another pretty good skill for dealing more damage and taking less too. Then his C skill is Rouse Defense and Res, which grants Chrom a self buff of +6 defense and res if he starts the turn not adjacent to an ally. Seems kinda odd to give the Lord of Our Bonds Give Me Strength a skill that makes him want to be away from his teammates. The extra defensive stats are appreciated, but it is an odd choice. Overall, a very nice selection of skills. You can inherit close counter and all 3 tiers of low attack and defense or Rouse Defense and Res, which is some great value. For his weapon, Chrom has Rangrider. This bow is effective against both flying and army units, plus it grants Chrom a flat +3 attack. Then, if the foe's HP equals 100% at the start of combat, neutralize penalties on Chrom and inflict -6 attack and defense on the foe during combat. Oh boy, not the flashiest weapon, but an extra +3 attack plus a potential -6 defense is a great combo. Especially if Chrom wants to bust through these super high defensive army units, this is a great start. Combined with low attack and defense, Rangrider's debuffs will stack, so that's -9 attack and defense on a full health target. Plus, they can't hide behind their field buffs, so yeah, I imagine Legendary Chrom is going to hit very hard. The -9 attack should also not be understated. We saw that he comes with close counter and Rouse Defense and Res, so Chrom will be pretty formidable even if you attack him with a melee unit. While we don't know his stats for sure yet, I think the general build will be to just slap on Quicker Post as his Sacred Seal, since it pairs well with close counter and all the attack debuffs on the enemy. If you want to go hard on the player phase power, then scrap close counter for Death Blow or Sturdy Impact. The reason close counter may not necessarily be a must-keep skill is because of Chrom's special assist skill. Like legendary Lucina's Future Vision, legendary Chrom comes with a similar assist skill. His is called to change fate, and instead of swap, it's going to be reposition. Chrom moves his target ally to the opposite side of him, and then he gets to another action. However, there is more. Afterwards, grant +6 attack to Chrom and his pair up cohort for 1 turn, and inflict isolation on Chrom and his pair up cohort. So first off, this is not a link ability. Chrom does not give +6 attack to the ally he repositions. He himself will get that +6 attack, and his pair up partner gets +6 attack as well, which is going to be a new interaction we haven't had before. More attack for Chrom is great considering he gets to move again, which is why he doesn't only have to run close counter builds. To change fate is not as offensive as Future Vision, but Chrom still basically gets a free turn to move forward, and even that can help him get in range for an attack after moving an ally. The big thing to discuss here is that self-isolation debuff. I don't blame you if you haven't seen isolation before, because it's only been on Bridal Fjorm. Basically, isolation is a status effect that prevents the unit from using assist skills or being the target of assist skills. This is very powerful, so why is Chrom inflicting himself with it? Well, if you have faced legendary Lucina on a defense team, it can be an absolute nightmare, so I think this is one countermeasure to that, sort of. Basically, one scenario I can see is that if you use Chrom to reposition an ally forward, you cannot then use that same ally to reposition Chrom forward and then let him move again even farther to attack. However, isolation only lasts till Chrom's next action, so he can use to change fate, move again, end his turn, which was going to remove isolation, and then he can get danced. If this happens, Chrom cannot use to change fate again and get another free action. The English trailer does not state it specifically that he cannot get a second free action again in the same turn, but apparently this restriction is present in the Japanese trailer, and plus Future Vision does state Lucina can only get 1 free action once per turn. I don't imagine they would let this slide for Chrom. If Chrom does use to change fate for a second or third time in 1 turn, it will act just like normal reposition. If you want to use any assist skills like healing or rally buffs on Legendary Chrom, you have to do it before he uses to change fate, or he must end his turn. One crazy scenario that I think may or may not happen is what happens if you pair Legendary Chrom with Legendary Lucina. She can use Future Vision first, get another action, change out to Chrom, let him use to change fate, and get another action. From there you can swap back to Lucina if you want, but obviously neither of them can do anything since isolation is now applied to both of them. I don't think you can actually do this because it does say does not stack in the description, and Future Vision's 1 extra action per turn may apply to Chrom's to change fate. 2 extra actions per turn seems kinda busted, so yeah. Imagine if the AI could actually abuse tactics like that. Ew. Besides being another unit that will probably mess me up when attacking in Aether raids, I think Legendary Chrom should be a fun unit. I know Chrom is typically on the slower side, but he might not be super slow like Legendary Leaf, we'll just have to see his stats. Since he is an infantry unit, he has access to a lot of different skills if you want to change his base kit. It does look pretty fun as is though. If you want an archer that has armor effectiveness and probably really high base attack with the ability to reduce enemy attack and defense, then Chrom is for you. I imagine to change fate will be a lot of fun to use, just like Future Vision, but you do have to be careful of the isolation debuff. Legendary Lucina can use swap 2 times in a row, no problem, but Legendary Chrom won't be able to use reposition 2 times in a row without ending his turn and getting danced. Moving on, we have 11 other units to talk about. In the red group we have Legendary Erica, Mythic Sothis, and Fina. The blue group has Legendary Google Chrom, Legendary Julia, and Legendary Azura. Green consists of Legendary Lyn, Gunthra, and Garrick. Last, colorless has Legendary Alm, Mythic Duma, and Fallen Female Corrin. As you can probably tell already, blue is going to be insanely good if you're trying to get Chrom. Starting us off, we have Legendary Erica, the fastest sword cavalier by a decent margin. Storm Signaling gives Erica extra special cooldown if she's surrounded by more enemies than allies, and that's great because Lunar Brace adds a whole Lunar special worth of damage when Erica's special procs. It does increase special cooldown count by +1 permanently because this is a very powerful effect. With Moonbow it becomes like Black Luna, and if you use Luna it will basically reduce the enemy's defense by 100%. Erica can't really spam her specials that often, but she does have attack and speed solo for +6 attack and speed and odd defense wave for more defense buffs. Very fun unit, especially with a wool down. Next is Sothis, who is a red infantry dragon. She's also very fast with good stats all around. Sublime Surge gives her distant counter and neutralizes all dragon effectiveness, which is pretty nice to have. Her serious special does damage based off of her speed and heals her as well. It's like a mini Regno Astra plus Noontime. Sothis also has attack and speed solo for tons of damage, and she comes with Wrath plus times Pulse, which is an amazing combo. When Sothis is on low HP every player phase, she can recharge Sirius instantly and be ready to fight again. She's going to be in the A Hero Rises voting gauntlet, and she's a great unit to have while also having tons of valuable fodder skills. Last we have Fina, who is quite an interesting unit. She is a sword infantry dancer, so she'll be great just to have around for support. However, Fina has some very impressive offensive stats, and she comes with the Rapier, which has dual effectiveness against both cavalry and armor units. It grants another +3 speed and has built-in Vantage, which means Fina can still run Rings of Mercy too. This is seriously one of the best weapons for a so-called support unit, and Fina has good attack to actually mess up some foes. I would honestly not mind getting Fina normally, even though I have tons of dancers on hand already. Speed and defense form is probably her best skill to fodder, unless you really want Geyser Dance for another dancer. Overall, red is actually pretty decent. Great time to get attack and speed solo, and you got a bunch of really quick units. Next we move on to blue. We discussed Legendary Chrom already, but just to reiterate, he has 3 great fodder skills. You can pass on close counter plus low attack and defense or rouse defense and res, so that's some good value. Either combination is pretty decent for a tankier ranged unit. Our second blue unit is Legendary Julia, who is an infantry blue mage. She is a very high damage mage who can straight up delete people in one hit. Virtuous Naga grants extra attack, and if Julia has more attack than the enemy at the start of combat, she gains even more attack and res. Light and Dark inflicts -2 to all stats on the enemy, neutralizes their field buffs, and grants adaptive damage, which means Julia can tackle distant counter dragons. Mirror Impact gives her even more attack and a bunch of resistance with the ability to stop a follow-up. Then she has Attack and Res Oath for self buffs. Literally everything in her kit adds more damage, and Julia is just an incredible single hit mage. She scares me quite a lot whenever I run into her. Finishing off this legendary group is legendary Azura, flying blue mage dancer, easily still the best dancer in the game for her ability to grant +1 extra movement to infantry and flying allies thanks to Grey Waves. Azura can also spread the highest buff on a unit to all their stats thanks to Prayer Wheel, so if they have a +6 attack buff and Azura dances them, they will then get +6 to all stats. Incredibly strong support unit and an absolute game changer to have, even though everyone can get Peony for free. That might not even matter since Azura is also in the A Hero Rises Voting Gauntlet, and if she does win, good luck in Aether Raids, it's gonna be a nightmare. For fodder, Azura has blue dual flying for extra arena score, and aerobatics is great for moving around non-flying allies. Overall, an incredibly strong group if you want to get Chrom. You can either get Chrom, or you literally get one of the most broken units in the game, or you get a mage who can delete people from the game. Moving on to green, we have legendary Lyn. She is a green infantry archer with good at speed and okay attack. Swift Mulligear adds extra attack and speed if Lyn is near more allies than enemies. Lawless Decay grants +4 to all stats if the enemy initiates and if Lyn is near at least 2 allies. Not the greatest unique A skill, Lawless Decay can sort of just be replaced by Fury and it would synergize better with her natural desperation. Legendary Lyn gets a lot of flack for trying to have both player and enemy phase traits and not really doing either one spectacularly. She's not completely terrible, just a bit underwhelming. Her best fodder skill is Speed Tactic. Next up we have Gunthra, who is a green mage cavalier. Her Blizzard Tome is a reverse blade tome, giving her extra attack based on the number of debuffs on the enemy. It works well with Chilling Seal, which hits the enemy with the lowest defense with -6 attack and speed. Gunthra can be pretty strong thanks to her long range, but she most likely requires more debuffs from her teammates. Fortress Res is okay, but completely outclassed by Fortress Defense Res 3. Res Ploy is also fine, but for Gunthra to activate it herself, it can be a little tough sometimes. Last we have Garrick, who is an infantry axe unit. We got some very good infantry axes in recent times, and Garrick being a 5-star option, he does have great base attack and speed. He doesn't have a unique weapon like Hilda or Dual Alm and Celica, but Garrick does have the Fire Sweep axe to prevent counterattacks. It's not bad with his good base attack and Darting Blow 4. Personally, I think Swift Sparrow 3 is better than Darting Blow 4, but +9 speed is still a lot. Garrick also has Sudden Panic, which is very annoying and allows him to be your panic applier. He then has Infantry Pulse to give infantry allies extra special cooldown. If you use Garrick for fodder, I would recommend passing on Darting Blow 4 with your choice of skill. It's very easy to get Darting Blow 3 from a 4-star unit, and from there you can get Darting Blow 4 plus any of Fire Sweep Axe plus, Sudden Panic 3, or Infantry Pulse 3. Overall, green is probably the weakest group on offer. Last is Colorless, starting with legendary Alm, one of the best archers around. Alm has good base attack and speed combined with Luna Arc, which deals true damage equal to 25% of the foe's defense when initiating. Alm basically adds a Moonbow proc per attack, and with his high speed he will probably attack twice. Lunar Flash is a 2 cooldown special that is a mini Regnar Astro combined with mini Moonbow. Darting Blow 4 is here again, and no follow-up ensures Alm bypasses any abilities that try to stop his follow-up attacks. He then has Odd Attack Wave for self-attack buffs. Another participant in the A Hero Rises Voting Gauntlet, there is a reason people want legendary Alm. Next we got Duma, who is an Anima mythic hero. He's one of the few armored colorless dragons and has low speed, but pretty decently high everything else. With Fell Breath, if Duma's opponent has less than full health, he gains +6 attack and resistance and prevents a follow-up attack. He can ensure this activates thanks to Upheaval, which inflicts -7 damage to all foes on turn 1. Very nice combo in Arena, but in Aether Raids, people generally run the Healing Tower or Air, so it's kind of underwhelming. He can destroy an offense structure in the same column as him when defending during Anima seasons, so if you like the Catapult structure, you can cause some chaos. Regardless, Duma can be pretty strong if you activate Fell Breath, and he has Bold Fighter backed by a ton of base attack. He then has Defense and Res Solo for extra tankiness when alone. Not the most insane unit ever, but Duma can cause trouble, especially if the enemy doesn't have healing. Last is Fallen Female Corrin. She is a colorless infantry dragon, and she is up there as one of the most annoying units I do not like to fight. Not only is her stats great with high speed, but Savage Breath can add +6 to all stats if Corrin doesn't have any allies within 2 spaces. This bonus decreases with more nearby allies. With attack and speed solo, she can give herself +12 attack and speed, which makes Corrin very dangerous when she attacks. With Sudden Panic, even though Corrin doesn't have the highest base HP, it's still gonna hit any squishy units. She is very annoying. If you kill all of her teammates, she gets extra stats, and with skills like Distant Counter and No Follow-Up, Falling Corrin can be absolutely horrible. Overall, this is a pretty good colorless group, 3 great units with some decent fodder available. That's all for this monthly legendary banner. As mentioned throughout, we have 3 units who are also in the A Hero Rises event. If they win the voting gauntlet, which starts tomorrow or the day after I think, then everyone will get that unit for free. Unfortunately, this banner ends the same day as the voting gauntlet, so I think that means we won't find out the results until after the banner ends. That said, if you want to get Legendary Azura, Legendary Alm, or Sothis, you can wait till the first 2 rounds finish. If the unit you want gets eliminated, then obviously they won't win, so you can try to get them from this banner. With the voting gauntlet being so chaotic due to last minute multipliers, I would not bet on the unit you want winning for sure. You can hope and pray, but I would keep expectations low. I will have a video talking about our 8 participants in the A Hero Rises 2020 event. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but it's good to know what those units can do and why people voted for them in the first place. Thanks for watching, I'll see you guys soon.